but should be good. Anyway, are we live? We're live. Oh. Watch your audio, ladies and gentlemen. I'm blowing air into the mic, and Jake's coughing up his coffee.
Well, I'll give a quick plug. I poured my water into my 922 Designs custom, what do you call these? I don't know, but I drink. This is what and it has HomeGymCon tumbler, and it has HomeGymCon on one side, Garage Gym Experiment logo on the other side. So quick plug to them.
Did Marcus do that? Did Marcus do that for you in Louisville, or was that like something?
No, outside? He brought it there, and gave it to me as a gift. But he does some cool stuff, and wasn't really planning on announcing this, but going to work with him on getting custom barbell caps for all of the VIPs. So 2 custom barbell caps is going to be included with all VIP orders. Do you know what I'm referring to there?
Yeah, barbell end caps. Yeah. Well, and
you looked confused.
Sorry, I was I was looking confused because Riverside wasn't letting me share all of our good mornings from the fellas. That was my confusion. But no, I think I already said this, that the logo for next year's HomeGymCon is a perfect end cap. So easy work for Marcus.
It is an end cap.
It is. I mean, yeah, it is. It is an end cap. Hopefully, he doesn't design it with the snap ring on the end cap. Do you have a version of the logo without the snap ring? Because the snap ring is going to be on there. Anyway.
That's a good call out. Very good call out. He already designed it, sent me something, and was like, "We'll do a really good price for you." So. Shout out to Marcus for that, and then I'll make sure to include like, hey, we might not want to do the end cap just because, or the snap rings because there's already snap rings.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking maybe people will use it as, rather than like for their barbells, they'll actually just use it as memorabilia. So
I still think you do it without the snap ring.
Okay.
I think let the chat chime in if
let us
for
know.
those of you that didn't catch that. Marcus over at 922
we are up to about 95 VIPs.
Holy cow.
Which is awesome.
That is wild.
I think we had 98 last year.
And I know, okay, so it's going to be a party.
Yeah.
The dinner, it's going to be dinner and then a party, I'm sure. Yeah. So anyway, so for the VIPs, Marcus at 922 Designs is going to use the HGC 26 logo and design barbell end caps. I mean, the logo is an end cap, but the logo has a snap ring in the picture of, the logo design. And I just suggested to Jake that for those barbell end caps, we shouldn't include the snap ring, because you're going to have a snap ring over it anyway if you put it on the end of a barbell. And we're trying to decide if that's the right way to go, because Jake said some people may not use it as a barbell end cap.
Yeah.
I still think you do it without the snap ring.
Well, let us know. We actually have a little bit of to liven. It's a little difficult to get the lives going. So I actually came with 5 random questions for Mr. Michael. And we're gonna go through that. I told him about 2 minutes before the show we have this, and he has no idea what's coming. No. It's a good mix of gym equipment and non-gym equipment questions.
Right.
And this is kind of like, so me and Adam used to do the 1-minute AMRAPs, and those were pretty fun.
Yeah, which I've done 2 of those.
You've done 2 of those. So here, you don't have to do this in a minute.
Okay,
but
I was going to say, this isn't a 1-minute AMRAP.
This is not a 1-minute answer. We don't need to go into depth, though. Okay. But what's your favorite non-gym YouTube channel?
Oh.
These are tough. Some of these might be tough.
Let's see. So I'm an OG Casey Neistat guy. Back when Casey Neistat was doing the daily vlog, that was like 2013-ish through like 2000. I don't even know when he ended the vlog. but he is the one who inspired me to get into any form of content creation. Bought my first camera, started documenting like family trips and stuff like that, and actually doing some editing, which did lead to my eventual like kind of like home gym content creation. Casey doesn't really post that often anymore. He got really successful, made
Yep.
millions of dollars, and retired. Currently, that's tough. I don't know if I can think of anyone currently. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead and go with Casey Neistat because
Okay.
yeah, I could still go back and rewatch the vlog and enjoy it just as much. So
Okay. I've never even seen Casey Neistat. I know he was like a frontier man in the YouTube world, but I've never actually watched.
oh man, it's so good.
I
It's I
was a
mean
little
like
late to the YouTube stuff.
oh were you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Okay.
wasn't like a YouTube, like 10 years ago, I was not watching YouTube unless it was like something specific.
Yeah, I feel like I would need to check like my YouTube algorithm and see who pops up and see if I can. We'll circle back to that while you move on to your
Yeah.
next question. Maybe
Okay.
I'll
What
chime in with a
about
current YouTuber.
favorite book you've ever read?
Ooh, great question. This is this is wow. Okay, so I'm gonna say two. The first one is about to become a movie. They've already released a trailer. Um, and I listened to it on audiobook, and it is widely considered like the greatest audiobook ever recorded, just because the voice actor who did it does different voices, and they did some really cool stuff for a particular character. And it's called Project Hail Mary
Hmm.
by Andy Weir. Andy Weir also wrote The Martian, which already is a movie now with Matt Damon. But Project Hail Mary was the single greatest audiobook experience I've ever had. Um, and then one that I actually read, this is like a recent, oh man, this is so hard. I'm gonna name three. I'm also gonna say Born to Run. Did you
Okay.
read Born to
Right.
Run?
I still haven't gotten through it.
Oh man, okay. Okay, so Born to Run, great book. That was also an audiobook for me. And then my third one, which I actually just recently read, was The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, which is like a fantasy, like Lord of the Rings style book. And it's like 900 pages, and it's pretty
Okay.
epic. So I know
I'll
there's three, but I do read a lot of books. So that's
I'm looking for a
hard
book,
choice.
so I'm gonna I'm
I'm your
gonna
man.
I'm gonna look up these two. Born to Run, I have tried twice,
Okay.
and for whatever reason, they just weren't good timing, and I never got through them. Like first chapter,
Really?
that's it. Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
I've been wanting to do it though, because like that's Adam Pittman's favorite book.
Yep. I think I
Um,
recommended it to him, or maybe he had already read it and we nerded out on it
yeah, you
together. I
guys might
can't
have bonded
remember.
over that. He loves
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um, all right. One interview that you have not done for that you would like to do with a single person or group or whatever for the Do You Even Lift Bro podcast?
Whoa. Casey Neistat. I mean, Jordan Peterson. I mean, there's like these guys are like way outside of our like little home gym niche. I always call it say niche, but in the home gym community, I don't know. Juji Mufu, I'm not sure. I hadn't thought about that really. But I have thought about like big guys that I would love to get, you know, and that is like a Casey Neistat or I think Jordan Peterson is fantastic. Those are the type of podcasts that I typically listen to is like much more like philosophical or talking about somebody's success. Oh, Alex Hormozy, that would be
Hmm.
great. He
That'd be
is
cool.
kind of, we just talked about him and he does kind of hover around the home gym niche. I'm going to go with Alex Hormozy.
Okay. There you
That would
go.
be sick. Yeah.
Get him to like go in depth about something he's never really talked about.
Yeah. Oh, for
Yeah, that'd
sure.
be cool. I've actually pitched it to him before.
Oh, you
Never
have?
didn't get a DM back.
Man.
But it was a
Okay.
while ago, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one. All right. Favorite 100 square foot booth at Home Gym Con last year.
Ooh, who had
So just 10 by 10s.
who had those? I mean, I don't even remember.
Like Waited Out. Um who else had like a lot of the like smaller grip companies, like just the basic 10 by 10. I'll have to like
I'm probably gonna say Wait It Out because Brian is my guy.
that was the
Black
one
Widow.
that's yeah.
Black Widow was bigger than 10 by 10, I
They
assume.
were 10 by 20.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Wait It Out. Or was Quantum Free Trainers? It's hard to say what he was in
They were
because he didn't
not.
have any walls.
They
But
were no, they were not a 10 by 10.
okay,
That's
yeah.
a
Let's.
tough one on the spot.
That is tough because I don't know. I would have to like have a list to look
That's
at,
more of a
and
me question. Yeah, like
yeah.
I should have given you a list.
But Wait It
Okay.
Out because Brian's one of my favorite human beings that I've had the pleasure of hanging out with for 3 years in a row. So I'm gonna go with Wait It Out.
Okay, I'll give you another one. One product you've never tried that you feel like you need to, or you feel like it's kind of like a something that like everyone talks about that you've never tried. Like for me, my answer, I'll just give for example, I've never tried a Texas Power Bar.
Oh, interesting. That's I like
Never
cut my teeth on barbell training with Texas power bars. Like
got
the
it.
old school ones, the 28.5 millimeter diameters. This is tough. I'm gonna give the simple answer because it's something we talked about it and it's something I've been thinking about a lot. But the Iron Master Super Bench Pro.
Okay.
I have not tried it. It was just on sale for $400. And I was just DMing the Carter Home Gym, asking him a bunch of questions because he has one. And he has a drop in Rhino, which I do as well. And I was kind of like asking him about some specific questions about how it tandems or works in tandem with the Rhino. So I have not tried the Iron Master Super Bench Pro, and I'm really wanting to swap out my bench. So I'm gonna go with that one because so many people say like how great it is. Pretty much everybody who has one loves it. It just doesn't present as well as like a lot of these other benches do. So, and I feel like it's one of those things that you have to like try it to like understand.
That's a really good answer.
Yeah,
That's five. That's all five.
that's all five.
That's all five.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I know we had some chat in here. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Let's
Porter
look
was
at.
a good 10 by 10 booth.
Yeah,
That's
Porter was good
wrong.
too.
That's a
Yeah,
good
that's another
that's a good
homie.
answer.
Yeah, Andy understands my love for Casey Neistat. 50 Shades of Grey, funny. I've never seen or that movie or read the book. My boy Colin has read or listened to Project Hail Mary. I'm serious, like really entertaining, great audiobook. That's the way I would recommend consuming that. And the movie's coming out sometime next year with Ryan Gosling. I'm so pumped. It's great, 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 great
Maybe
book.
that might just be my next one. I like to make I've listened to hundreds of audiobooks over the years, and I like to mix. I like a variety of things. Like
Okay.
I like to do a business book, then I like to do a biography, then I like to do a nonfiction or fiction books for like creativity and just like entertainment.
Yeah,
So I'll check that one out.
you should. Highly recommend that one. Really good. I also had listened to The Martian on audiobook before it became a movie. It used to be one of my favorites, but Project Hail Mary from the same author, so good. So
Got
good.
it. Cool. All right. Let's pull up the doc. Let's see
Oh
what we
yeah, we've
got
got one of
here.
those. That was fun. Thanks for that. That was
Yeah. Maybe do it to me
I like
next
that.
week.
Okay. All right. Let's do that.
Um, all right. Let me hit present. Nothing huge as far as Home GymCon updates, other than the room block is now available. Oh wait, hold up. And we have a surprise guest that we're
do?
gonna allow in.
Where did that come from?
Someone asked me what time. Someone asked me what time the show starts, and I said, "Do you want to join?" And I said, "No, no worries." But um, let's
Look
see.
at that.
Oh, and he is available. We
But
have
he's
Kurt
in.
Locker with
He's
us. Can you
in.
hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Got me?
Yeah. How are you
Yeah.
doing?
Oh, it's a great day to be alive. Just try not to mess it up.
Yeah, you're just in time for the HomeGymCon update.
All right.
Um, so Kurt didn't give you much instruction, but feel free to just go along with whatever we're going along with. So HomeGymCon update, room block now available. I did plug a link into the show notes. If you got your tickets, you should have received an email with a link. I will just mention, as I do every year, the double queens will run out first. So if you want a double queen and you want to like share a room with somebody, save some money, I do think that's a good option. I had a few people reach out and just say, hey, might be looking at other hotels because this one's not the cheapest option. But I would say, like, if you have a buddy, think about a double queen. And I do think if you find something that's like $20 cheaper, I don't think you're gonna be able to find anything like more than $50 cheaper. That's within like a walking distance. So just first of all that, and we'll have our dinner here. We'll have like a lot of people will be posted up at this bar after hours. So yeah, we talk about the room block a lot, but
It's the place to be.
it's the place to be. So that's kind of it for the Home Gym Con update.
Actually, real quick on the hotels, Jake. So something to consider. I actually had one of my volunteers last year stay with me. I was in a single king. So yes, the double queens do go quick, but if you get a single king, the couch that's at the Galt house, that's in the single king room, pulls out into a bed.
Oh, nice.
That's fantastic information.
I didn't
I'm
know
glad
that.
we had you on because
So
I
happy
never
I came on, even if just for that.
I didn't do too much digging into that couch. All right, thank you for that. Good info. We'll make sure to maybe I'll just do a little research into ensuring that that's the case for all of the rooms.
Yeah.
But great info. Yes. Reserve those rooms, and we do have a little bit less number to fill this year, so I do think they'll go by quicker this year. All right, first product. Actually, I think this is awesome. Hopefully this loads. So this is the Repone eStack. I do not think you can purchase it, but let's watch this several minute long video on the Repone eStack.
Wow.
There we are.
This is really interesting. I don't I I'm compelled. Like it looks fantastic. The thing that I think is most interesting to me is that uh, from what I understand, each unit is five has max load of 500 pounds. So
Yes.
you can combine for 1,000 pounds. I learned a little bit more. Jordan at Rep One did an AMA yesterday. Maybe it's still going today over on the Home Gym Discord. You can skim that if you have some questions about the Rep One eStack. Um, but I like where we're going with this. I mean, any type of competition to the Voltra is good news. Curtis, what do you think?
I think it's about time somebody entered the market, and Voltra set the tone for prices when it comes to this kind of stuff. Because as far as like hard mount, because we've had the Shogun Flex units, there's been a couple different iterations. There's another one coming out of Europe. So there's a lot of different options out there. But something to keep in mind with Rep One is that home gyms have never been Rep One's main market. Rep One has catered to professional sports teams and collegiate level sports teams. That's kind of their MO. But what I can also tell you from behind the curtain with Rep One is that although the home gym market isn't going to become the primary market, I don't know anything about the Rep One, but I do have some insights as to some other applications that they're working on. They're definitely starting to flip it a little bit more towards like small trainer, so like small bills, trying to make things more affordable, offering a light version and then a very expensive paid for version, and it all has to do with the number of athletes that you're managing. But they're definitely going above and beyond here. They're also building it into the rack. Building it into the rack is going to add nuances. So part of what made the Voltra so attractive was that it was transportable easily. Now we don't know that this isn't transportable easily, but it appears to be pretty permanent. Like you're going to build it into something, you're going to use it on that piece of equipment. So unless that equipment is transportable, you may end up in a situation where you do have really cool, powered electronic resistance that can do, eccentric overload, concentric overload. It looks like it can do the bands, the change, the whole nine. But again, it's going to be kind of a heavier footprint. But it looks super high quality. Not a big fan of. I'm not sure how I feel about like the little dial sticking off to the side and everything. How you actually have your GUI on these, or your graphic user interface on these things, is a little bit tricky because you're trying to pack electronics into a unit. But it looks attractive. Rep One makes quality equipment. We'll see how it ends up shaking out as far as price, adaptability, and the like.
Yeah, Jake, what's your take?
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike, as far as like it's great to see another option out there. This doesn't look. It looks like it's different than everything on the market. It's like you guys said, it's not as portable. It looks like it's kind of more of like a rack-mounted functional trainer, like something to compete against like the Aries, for example. And then like you have like the Voltra that seems a little bit more versatile. I think I saw something with the Voltra, or they're comparing the price, and they say it's comparable to the Aries and then also the Voltra. Something that's kind of cool, a little behind the scenes. Last year, Rep One reached out right after HomeGymCon year number 2.
Okay.
And they were like, we want to do a really solid booth at HomeGymCon 2025 to show a product that we think will work with a lot of other companies' products. They didn't tell me what it was, but they were like, we're not sure if it's going to be ready. So I imagine this is what they were referring to. So that's kind of cool. So that also tells you how long they've been working on this, and it also makes me wonder how many other people are trying to do this. So this could be a really competitive market here in the next year or two, I'm thinking. But I mean, this looks awesome. I think it looks like if it really does go up to 500 pounds, it looks solid. And something that I can see a lot of people considering. I think it was really cool that they did an AMA yesterday. Or maybe still going today on, I think Discord, right?
Yeah, Home Gym Discord. Yeah.
And then I'm going to interview Jordan.
Oh, are you? Nice.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So you guys let me know what kind of questions you guys have. I'm looking to ramp up one-on-one podcasts going forward as the HomeGymCon set up and that stuff is slowing down a little bit. So yeah, I'm a fan of this, and just like as far as like the market as a whole can benefit from this.
Yeah, I agree. Pricing wise, Jordan was not very specific. I think kind of like you mentioned, he tried to give some ideas about what they're trying to target. Essentially saying that they want it to be slightly more affordable than going full stacks, but it's going to be close enough to where it's still going to be something you kind of have to determine which one gives you the benefits that you're looking for. I still need to learn more, like that whole like top cross member, like motorized unit. Like I got to see what that is and what your options are for like putting that in there. But the overall weight capacity is great. I think I saw Joey in here say that he likes the idea that it's mounted to the trolley. I do too. I think that with some type of like tornado arms, so that we can go fully wide and get really creative about how we're using those pulleys would be chef's kiss. So I'm very intrigued to see where this goes. And then of course, Curtis giving his thoughts on, I don't know a lot about Rep One, but if Curtis is saying they make high quality stuff, that's what I want to hear, because I would think the other end of that spectrum is something like the Shogun Flex that was with, and it ain't it.
Sorry, that was going to be my follow-up question to Kurt. Could you explain what their primary product is?
So Rep One has primarily been a sensor.
That's right.
Electronic sensors. So your velocity sensors, those kind of things, as well as athlete management. So again, their biggest, I don't know if it's their biggest. Obviously, I can't see their books, but I would imagine that some of their biggest stuff is going to be their subscription-based services with their velocity sensors to collegiate and professional level teams. That's where they kind of make their money, their bread and butter. That's where it's at. And a lot of the other companies that kind of frag out and go into that sensor market actually originate with Rep One. I'm not going to throw any names underneath the bus, but some of the other brands, some of them good, some of them bad, are from people that, started at Rep One and then peeled off and did their own thing. But they also do inclusions on other pieces of equipment. So if you want a Rep One sensor built into something, they can work with you on integration. So the Kratos Quest Station is a really good example of that, so that you can get quantifiable data out of something that's difficult to quantify. But again, you got to pay for that upgrade. But that's kind of their main bread and butter. So I'd be really curious. I'm excited for it. They're definitely nailing it out, or knocking it out of the park if that's the numbers that they're doing. And then I think I saw someone say $2,000. Was that Andy? So coming in $500. I'm sorry, coming in at 50% of the cost of doing 2 Voltras. That's pretty baller. I think that's going to make Voltra have to respond, because as we have an increase in supply, demand is, that's just simple how things work. Like when there's an increase in supply, your prices are going to have to come down in order to be competitive. So I'm really excited to see where Rep One goes with this.
Word.
Yeah, and when they reached out like a year ago, I imagined it was also a sensor product that they wanted to put on other racks. I definitely did not see this coming. So pretty cool. Obviously smart people behind Rep One, and I do think like the fact that you have everything from like, the Shogun Flex to the Anchor to the Voltra, and then there's like you're starting to see like different price points of, and this is obviously different than the Anchor, but you get different options for like standalone pulleys as opposed to just the stacks, which is pretty amazing and probably the future for many. All right. Let me know though if you guys if you have specific questions you want me to ask in the follow-up interview, and this will be cool to keep an eye on. Voltra has some competition. All right, next up, the wall-mounted Aries. So this is basically an Aries that you bolt to a wall. You have kind of a half rack setup, and then you can also add some storage wings as well. So based off of me pricing it out on the website, you can get a base wall-mounted Aries for about $4,000, and then if you add like the storage wings, which also come with built-in like wall control, and then also like the basic accessories like spotter arms, front foot extension, J cups. I think that comes at around $6,000. So pretty comparable to the price of just like a 4-post Aries rack. Also kind of like in the same ballpark as like a Force USA all-in-one, like one of those one of their main products as well. Those have like Smith machines, but this is a really nice option that you do have to bolt to the wall, but it only sticks out 29 inches. And I think for me, I love the idea of a foldable rack, but I don't think I would ever fold it. I would always leave it up, and I do think this accomplishes quite a bit within a bit of space. And then real quick, you did see it first at HomeGymCon. And they did a cool setup at HomeGymCon with the wall-mounted Aries, and they didn't bring in a wall. They like attached it to the back of a storage setup kind of thing. You guys have thoughts on the wall-mounted Aries?
Yeah, I think this doesn't fold in, right? That's what you were saying, that like most people you wouldn't fold it in, but this one doesn't even have the option to fold in, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's cool. Like I like that they're, I love the wings. Obviously I have my home gym set up with wings off of my rack. So I like that they're kind of giving everybody similar to an all-in-one solution where it's like, this is the footprint that you can expect to take up with your home gym, and you can store your plates and your accessories and all of that right there on the unit. I think the biggest call out for me in terms of just like something I'm a fan of is, as far as I know, Rep has the only options for like small footprint rack attached functional trainers. Like the depth of this is impressive. The Athena, I think you can do like a 16-inch Athena setup if you wanted to. Every other like rack attached functional trainer, you're looking at least 30 inches of depth on your rack to accomplish that. So that is one of my favorite things about what the engineering on Rep's rack mounted pulley systems, and we're seeing that continue here. The fact that they can pack in a whole Athena, a whole Aries into that 29-inch footprint, which I'm wondering, does that include the front feet on that 29 inches? No,
I think that's extra.
Okay, still really, really impressive. I like it. I would never do a wall-mounted rack personally, but for those that want to do one, this is cool. Curtis, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll say that. So, I mean, I have the ATX wall right now, which is kind of a similar concept. Just it has the stacks built into different parts. The plate storage being where it is going to be something that a lot of people, maybe it looks really good on the wall, but when it actually comes to use, you'll start to realize that having to go underneath or over the top of a barbell to access your plates is more of a pain in the butt than you might think. But it looks good, and it's compact, and it's against the wall, and really that space savings has been something that's really cool. I love how Rep, because it's the Aries, the the stacks are built into the back of the rack because it's kind of dead space. So companies can either put storage back there, or in Rep's case, they're putting the actual stacks back there. Love the idea, love the ability to throw front feet on it, and really it's Rep, so it's still using their ecosystem, which means, well, really it's using any 3x3 ecosystem, so you could theoretically make this like the centerpiece of your gym, and then just like they did at HomeGymCon, start to kind of build it out to be whatever you want it to be, whether that's up against a wall or kind of bisecting your gym. It's a cool concept. It's another example of Rep really just kind of pushing the engineering to get a lot of capability in a really compact space.
Yeah, you just called something out that I'm surprised I missed, but I'm glad you're here, Curtis. I did a lot of research on how what you want the width of your wings to be in order to sidestep the troubles that you just called out, Kurt, which for me, what I discovered is you want 30 inches is the sweet spot. If you go 30-inch wings off the side, you can pull the plates right off of those uprights, turn around, and your barbell's right there. There's no ducking or dodging. This does not look to be 30 inches to me. This looks more like 16-ish inches. And so they probably did that just for the sake of keeping it as compact on the wall as possible. But that is a great call out, Kurt, that for this particular setup, your plates on those wing uprights, you're going to turn around and run right into your barbell and have to take a step back and kind of navigate around that. So I wonder if you could, if you wanted to, they're making it available, go with like a 30-inch wing setup. That would be more convenient.
I'm not sure they would at this design, though, because, Jake, if you go back one more image, you can kind of see it in this picture, but you can see it better in the other. They have the pegboard that's kind of built in on their sides. And so I agree that it looks to me like a 16-inch, 14-inch, somewhere in that ballpark, right? Keeping in mind that a plate is generally about 17 inches in diameter if we go with American freedom units. So that means that you have about 9 inches to where nothing clears on the side. So you're going to be fine to train in this because it's 29 inches out, which means that you have enough clearance that you could put a bar in the rack. You could have those stacks completely filled out, and you're not going to hit. But again, it's just a matter of getting to the plates. Now, I will say that it's a matter of compromise. So reaching above and below your bar to have to grab plates to load on, it's really not that big of a deal, and in the grand scheme of thing is like a super first world problem.
Totally. Yeah.
And ultimately people can just choose to put their plates somewhere else. So someone might purchase this, and instead of using that for plate storage, because if you also consider that if you have plates on those posts and that image right there, you're covering up half your pegboard. So you're losing a lot of that wall space in order to actually utilize. So putting your plate somewhere else might be a good option for this. But ultimately what Rep is doing is they're putting the ball in the consumer's court as far as how do you want to use this? Do you have a lot of attachments that you want to get off the ground and onto a wall somewhere? Here's our ecosystem that works really well. Or do you want to get your plates somewhere that's close to where you're loading? Might be a little bit inconvenient, but as far as density, they're just like winning it here. Now, the one thing I will also say, though, is because it's the Aries system, you're limited to that, isn't it 40 inches inside to inside for theirs? So
41.
You're 41. So yeah, you're relatively narrow in my opinion, you're relatively narrow when it comes to functional trainer usage. So like a traditional cable crossover.
Yep.
But that's, again, the home gym community is all about compromise. And this is a really, like, as far as density goes, this thing is winning that game. And I commonly will call out in videos that it's all about space management, in that if you view space as a form of currency, something like the wall-mounted Aries is doing a fantastic job of being a high value.
Right on.
Totally. Some hardcore nitpicking there. But I think good call outs. I usually like to say, like, the width of the functional trainer isn't that big of a deal to me personally, because I don't in a perfect world, yes, it's wider, but I usually like to have like one up high, one low, and it's more of like setting up for one at a time. And it's nice to be able to like just leave one up for your favorite movement here, leave one down for your favorite movement there, or like for supersets and stuff like that. But yeah, good call outs there. Always kind of wonder when companies listen to this what they're thinking. But that's what the comment section.
You're going to send a hitman and take me
out. Yeah, tough to complain about this one, but there's a few,
good job.
There's a few suggestions there. Next up, we have some pre-orders from Dialed Motion. Mike, you want to take this one?
Sure. So pre-order, what Dialed Motion is calling pre-order number 6 is opening today in 47 minutes. And they're introducing, or they're making available for pre-order a few of the products that we saw at HomeGymCon. I also will call out that they are, I guess I wouldn't know if we would call this a full rebrand, but their logo has been adjusted to just be Dialed. That's their logo there on the deck that we're presenting. So Dialed, I'm still going to call them Dialed Motion. With the roller foot plate being the first thing that we'll talk about. This is pretty interesting. I think that this is kind of an, I don't know, maybe semi-niche type of use case, especially because the whole foot plate and rollers is off-centered, which does work with Dialed Motion's existing pulley system and functional trainer, like rack-mounted functional trainer. It has 5 angle adjustments on the foot plate, which I really like. I don't know that we've seen that before. I think that any other type of foot plate that we've seen is kind of one and done. So the adjustability there is really nice. They're saying it's got a compact footprint. One of the cool kind of community feedback pieces is that the rollers are removable. When they first kind of teased this item out there, people were in the comments asking, can you make the rollers something that you can remove and repurpose on your rack for other use cases? And they've integrated that here, so you can remove the rollers and use them as just a dedicated roller. So good value there. They've got it set at a retail price of $259. I will say this reminds me a lot of the Darko lifting Voodoo. If you guys remember the Voodoo that he had, it was very similar to this. It was something that you put on your upright and allowed you to do rows and set it at different heights. And he kind of discontinued the item, but maybe it was just before its time, I guess, because now you're starting to see more of these types of things. You'll still see him using it occasionally in his stories and so forth, but cool piece here. Moving on to my personal favorite that I saw at HomeGymCon, which was their strap safeties. These are priced at $359 if you want the straps, or $279 if you want to bring your own straps or already have straps that you want to use. The biggest thing here is that they are a C-channel, so you can quickly and easily just pull your mag pin and get the strap out of the way. You know, have both of the C channels on the same upright so that you can pass through your rack, which is a big thing for me in my limited space. I pass through my rack all of the time, which is why I don't currently use strap safeties, even though I have them. So pretty cool. There's magnets on the C channel. What do they call them? On the carriage, as they're calling it. So it kind of attaches, just kind of sucks right up into your upright, and then you can kind of slide it up and down. It's really just like a quality of life type, like we were saying, like first world problems type of thing. Like this is, like these are pretty sweet. I'll also say for those of you who might be interested in this, and you're wondering, do I use my own straps or do I just like find some straps on Marketplace? Their straps are very, very nice, very premium. They're the coolest looking straps I've seen out there on the strap safeties. All black versus like different color stitching and stuff. So if aesthetics are important to you, maybe just get their straps. And then the last one is they're offering their own mag pins. $49 for a pair, machined knurled aluminum handle, stainless steel shaft, magnetic. They're nice. I mean, they're mag pins. As with everything Dialed Motion, they're executed really, really well. So I messed around with them a little bit at HomeGymCon. They were mag pins, but I think $49 for a pair of two isn't too bad. I guess that probably doesn't include shipping. That was a lot of words, fellas. What have you
Good job.
got on these? Thanks.
Well, looks really. So I had to look up the barbell voodoo thing to remind myself of what it looked like, because I don't remember the barbell voodoo having, or the Darko voodoo, sorry, having rollers. I remembered it being like foot platey. So I googled it, saw a picture, and yeah, maybe just ahead of its time. A cool product. Cool to see Dialed come out with this. It also looks like in the photo that it's offset to the side.
Right.
Are you guys seeing that as well?
No, it is. Yeah, it is offset, which is, I think, because the dialed motion pulley system, rack mounted pulley system, is also off centered, so it's catering to that.
To its
Maybe Aries 2.0 owners potentially as well.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah.
It looks honestly, it looks like a really cool piece. There are other companies that make similar pieces, but I don't think I've seen one that does both, and definitely not one that does both with that kind of like gear adjustability that's built into it. As far as the strap safeties, they look high quality. There's a couple companies that make C-channel type strap safeties out there. I can think of two others right off the top of my head, and those two other companies I'm fairly certain are using spud straps in their system, which is what gives you kind of that off color. So I don't know who Dialed is using for theirs, but looks like another really good option. What I really like about the C-channel ones is that they lock tight into place, versus the other ones, which I just like. I know when I'm in their system, like I think about the Rogue system, for instance. You pop the pin out, pull it up, push the pin back in, but gravity at that point is holding the pin in. And I'm one of those where as I'm going to lift, I have like the last second anxiety thoughts of like, did I set this? Did I set this? Did I set this? And the last thing I want to be doing when I've got, 450 pounds on my back is wondering if I set my my safety with the actual pin in the hole. So that's what I like about the C-channel ones, is that they're nice, they're tight. You'd like know that you did it, and they adjust up and down nicely. Just a nicer system. The two other companies off the top of my head are Stray Dog Strength. They've made it for a long time, and then Bridge Built. They both make that system. And then the mag pins, $49 for the pair. That's a win. So knurled aluminum handle, cool. That means they're going to be nice and lightweight. The magnet being completely concealed is really important because these are using neodymium magnets. I'm really curious because there was some drama earlier last week, I think, as far as magnets shipping out of China. And so hopefully they're still on track to have this go. So if that's where they're coming from, most magnets are sourced out of China anyways. But yeah, you can't beat $49 for the pair. Looks high quality. And I especially like that it has a rounded tip. Not all companies are doing the rounded tip. And sometimes it's just easier to get it in the holes, gentlemen.
It makes a difference. It does make a difference. I have a couple of band pegs from the artist formerly known as Steadfast Lifting, and they are just like a blunt cutoff on the shaft, and trying to feed those through your upright is
It's unchristian.
pain in the ass.
It's just unchristian.
Yeah, good call out on that.
I thought they were gonna make a comeback and then
Yeah, I don't
just
think
stopped.
so.
He's a
Yeah,
big
I know.
scooter guy too, isn't he?
Yeah, let's not,
Something,
let's
yeah.
not go down that one. But yeah,
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
avoid that hole. Sorry.
yeah.
That's a whole. Do we have? Yeah, I don't have much to add other than looks great. I didn't get a chance to check them out at HomeGymCon. Do we have opinions on who's making the best mag pins these days? I know it's always kind of a.
It depends on
heard-
what you use them for.
Yeah, that's true, because there's different lengths as well, and that can impact your application. I've heard that vendettas are really, really good. I did, and I tried them a little bit at HomeGymCon. They're nice. They kind of have a contoured head, so you can kind of grip it a little bit easier. But I don't think that it would be a stretch to say that dialed motions are probably going to be considered up in the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, because just everything they do is done with such care and attention to detail. So
Andy,
okay.
why do you say that, Andy? I remember talking to Britton about him, and he said he has some great mag pins coming out, but I never really followed up with him about that. I know he brought some to HomeGymCon too.
He did. I think I've looked at them
Well,
before, but they were like out of stock or on back,
they're competitively priced. So right now they're on back order. So as a mega pins, they're $67.99. And he's saying an August fulfillment right now on the website. His are a little bit long. I don't know how long are does it say how long the dialed motion ones are?
Probably on the product page, in the specs.
The only other one that I would consider up in that market is, and again, it all has to do with application, right? So like most people use mag pins to hold something in place. And for that application, either your Vendettas or this dialed motion example are fantastic examples of that. Rounded tip, potentially nice and light magnetic without being like loosey-goosey. And then the other thing that pins often can get used for is putting a carabiner on to either put a band on or to put like straps, Henny straps. I use them when I travel and do training with teams. I'll bring the surplus strength Vex speed pins out, and the thing that they're doing that nobody else is doing that I found so far is they're putting a hole so that you can accommodate an omega sized carabiner. And being able to do that allows me to put attachments on it, allows me to put bands on it, allows me to just do more with something that I've already got. And that's like the one thing that Surplus is doing that I don't think anybody else has done yet. If they have, let me know in the comments. And yeah, but the thing that sucks about them is that they're expensive.
Yeah. I actually picked up a pair of the Vex pins at HomeGymCon, and I like them a lot. I think that there's probably similar products, but they're not like magnetic. Like the Sorinex has they call it like a band peg essentially. And they have like a carabiner loop on the end of them, and they have them in a couple of different lengths. But they're not,
Yeah.
they're pretty rough. They're they're basically just like raw metal. They'll definitely like tear up your uprights. I'm looking, so the dialed motion, let's see, specifications. Let's see, so 4.5-inch pin versus like the Vendettas, which is a 5.5-inch pin. So again, that could impact how you might use them. Like I'm thinking about like the Campbell handles from Oak Club. Like they have like they can only be so long. If you go too long, you won't be able to use them with the Campbell handles. So it just depends on your application. Anyway, we are nerding out today. Jake,
Nerding out. Well, yeah. Quick call out. Obviously, the dialed motion guys are getting a ton of like praise and a lot of probable partnerships with some of the larger companies. I think maybe you mentioned it in previous weeks that they have people reaching out. I would put Britain, right up there as far as minds in the space that I think has a really bright future. So just a quick call out there. And then, we're running out of time. Oh,
sorry.
Real quick, the dialed motion leg developer will not be part of the pre-order. Just a quick call out there. Larry from Bulletproof has released a few products specifically for the isolator, a couple like stabilizing stands, and then also this hex port multi-arm for the isolator.
All right, guys, back in the day, I had posted the idea.
Kind of want to skip like the first few minutes, but this is like kind of
about putting.
Maybe let's leave this one for next week, since we're running short on time. So we'll talk about that one. I also have a few other smaller products from brands that we're kind of on the get to list as well that we'll put next week. But anything else, guys, before we wind this down? Any other questions people have?
No, I guess we'll give them a second to respond to that. But That's all I got.
Yeah, this
Curtis,
was nice
great
to have
have you.
a another mouth on the podcast. Another someone who clearly knows what he's talking about too.
Yeah. Yeah, on
Yeah.
magnets and stuff out of China, stuff that taking it to levels that I'm like, I didn't know. I mean, I was like quickly Googling. I'm like, magnets, China, drama. Like,
Did you find
Yeah,
it?
where did
No,
you
I
hear
got
that?
distracted
The news,
from
or
with
is
other
that
stuff.
like someone told you?
Someone told me.
Someone in the industry told you.
Someone in the industry reached out and expressed frustration, and I tried to help them solve some problems with sourcing. So
Got it.
I think we solved the problem,
Oh,
but I never got follow through. So there's a really cool company called KJ Magnetics. They've got a pretty good bench stock of a wide array of magnet type accessories, and I know a couple companies that already source from that company. So that's who I recommended.
Got it. Did you quickly change your shirt, or was that what you were wearing?
No, so I got done training, came down here to do some work, and this is just the shirt that was the next one up. So Rory's shirt that I picked up not at HomeGymCon, but when I went and deadlifted at his place. We recorded a video, but my microphone was out of sync with the video. And man, I'll tell you what, in post, that's something that just sucks.
Yes.
yes, it does.
Yep. Cool. Well, I guess I can hit the stop button.
Sounds good.
All right.
Kurt, great
See
to
you guys
have
next week.
See everybody
Yeah.
next week.